Chapter 4: Escape and Discovery. Zeke's heart pounded in his ears as he pressed himself against the cold metal wall, caught between the approaching mercenaries and the invisible hitman. His fingers tightened around his pulse pistol, though he knew it would do little good against such overwhelming odds. Just as he was about to make a desperate last stand, something unexpected happened. One of the mercenaries suddenly turned, his weapon training on a seemingly empty space in the tunnel. "Unknown contact detected," the robotic voice announced. "Engaging, cloaked, hostile." A burst of gunfire erupted, bullets ricocheting off the tunnel walls. The air shimmered, and suddenly the hitman was visible, his cloaking device disrupted by the barrage. "Well, well," the hitman's smooth voice carried over the chaos. "Looks like we've got some uninvited guests at our little party." In an instant, the narrow maintenance tunnel transformed into war zone. The mercenaries opened fire on the hitman, their heavy weapons filling the air with the scent of ozoned and burning metal. The hitman returned fire with terrifying precision, his cloaked rounds finding weak points in the mercenaries' armor. Zeke didn't waste the opportunity. As bullets flew overhead, he dropped to the ground and began crawling towards a side passage he'd noticed earlier. The combatants were so focused on each other that they seemed to have forgotten about him entirely. "Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, Zeke. Just get the hell out of here." He scrambled into the side passage, wincing as his injured shoulder scraped against the rough middle floor. The sounds of the firefight grew muffled as he put distance between himself and the chaos. After what felt like an eternity of crawling through claustrophobic maintenance shafts, Zeke emerged into a larger service tunnel. He allowed himself a moment to catch his breath, his enhanced hearing straining for any sign of pursuit. Nothing, but the distant rumble of the city above and the echoes of the battle he'd left behind. Time to get topside and figure out what the hell is going on. As Zeke made his way through the labyrinthine understructure of New Shanghai, his mind raced. Who were those mercenaries? Why were they after the same package as the hitman? And most importantly, what was so valuable about this little box that people were willing to kill for it? He thought back to the mercenary's armor, trying to recall any identifying marks he might have seen in the chaos. There had been something, a logo partially obscured by battle damage. It tugged at his memory, and suddenly it clicked. Neurosync Industries. But that's impossible. They went bankrupt months ago. Neurosync had been a rising star in the tech world, specializing in cutting-edge neural interfaces, but they'd overextended, made some bad bets, and collapsed practically overnight. It had been the talk of the underground for weeks, another cautionary tale of corporate hubris. Before their sudden downfall, Neurosync was renowned for its top-grade upgrades in BioWare. The neural interfaces were considered the gold standard, seamlessly integrating human cognition with digital processing power. These upgrades allowed users to perform complex calculations, hack security systems, and even communicate telepathically through encrypted channels. Neurosync's most ambitious project was a new Neuralink chip that was slated to go live in the next few months. This chip promised to revolutionize neural interfacing by significantly enhancing processing speeds and clearing out the persistent bugs that plagued earlier versions. The new chip was designed to provide unparalleled mental clarity and multitasking abilities, making it a highly anticipated upgrade among tech enthusiasts and corporate elites. The company had invested heavily in research and development, pushing the boundaries of BioWare technology. Their labs were staffed with some of the brightest minds in cybernetics, working tirelessly to perfect their innovations. Rumors circulated about secret projects and breakthrough technologies that would have cemented Neurosync's dominance in the field. Then, without warning, Neurosync vanished. One day they were on the brink of unveiling their next-generation Neuralink chip. The next, their offices were empty and their assets were frozen. The abrupt collapse left a void in the market and raised countless questions. Whispers of corporate sabotage, internal espionage, and even government interference spread through the tech community like wildfire. Despite numerous investigations,
no one could pinpoint the exact cause of their downfall. For those in the underground, NeuroSync's disappearance was a stark reminder of the volatile nature of the tech industry. It highlighted the precarious balance between innovation and overreach, and the thin lines separating success from ruin. The sudden collapse of such a prominent player sent shockwaves through the market, leaving other corporations scrambling to fill the gap left by NeuroSync's absence. So why are there mercenaries running around the city, chasing down mysterious packages? The questions were piling up, and Zeke had a sinking feeling that he was way over his head. He needed to get to safety, to regroup, and figure out his next move. After what felt like hours of navigating the city's underbelly, but it was only 25 minutes of adrenaline-pumped time, Zeke finally found an access hatch that led to the surface, possibly 2 blocks away. He emerged in a dingy alley, blinking as his eyes adjusted to the harsh neon glare of New Shanghai's eternal night. The street beyond the alley was chaos. Pedestrians hurrying past with their heads down, hands full of gifts, police drones buzzing overhead, the constant throb of music and advertisements assaulting his senses. Just another night in the big city. Zeke was about to melt into the crowd when he spotted it. A black, armored van parked haphazardly at the mouth of another alley. It had to be the mercenaries. Well, if they're not using it,